During the lockdown, I've been doing a lot of engage work, so I thought I'd give myself a little break. And this is a little dinky. Turn it over. Right way up is Dinky Toys Packard, made by Meccano in England. And turns out this is called a Super 8 Tourer, and made about 1947 up to 1950 apparently. And it's been repainted by somebody, so I want to see if I can make this a bit more glamorous looking. YouTubers. It's slightly different from the Sort 6233. This time it's a dinky die-cast car. It's a Packard, it's a Super 8 Tourer, and I want to try and restore it. So let's see how I got on. First of all, £2 it cost me on the Aberdeen show. It looks as if it's complete except one of the headlights is missing. Fortunately, I was able to get in touch with Aaron Diecast parts, or whatever they're called, and I've got a new set of headlamps. Overall condition, bodywork doesn't look bad, paintwork obviously needing a bit of attention, but complete. The tyres just look a little bit tired, but otherwise they look complete, they're not cut or scarred or whatever. So let's get started. First thing I want to do is dismantle it. I noticed that the axles are crimped, ended axles. And that's important because when you turn it upside down, there are no rivet posts holding it in. It clips in at one end, but in actual fact the plate is held in by these axle supports, because the axles are holding the plate in. Which means I need to take the axles off. To remove the wheels, I need to undo the crimping end, and so I'm going to use a grinding device, but I don't want to damage the wheel or the tyre, so I'm going to fit a little nylon washer over the wheel, but to do so I need to keep that in place, otherwise it'll just fly off. So I'm going to use what I developed and called a washer wheel stabilizing compound. And if you want to know what that is, I'll give you a couple of clues. It's blue and it's tacky. So I just press that onto the wheel, and that holds the axle in place as well, hopefully. And this should now work. I'll need to hold the other end of the axle to stop it spinning, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of pressure here. Oops, this is where you need about 3 hands, 2 assistants and somebody else with you, but not necessarily in that order. So let's see if I can get this off. I don't know how much this will actually take, so I'll do the rest off camera. One thing I do notice is that the tyres can be removed from the wheels, so in the interest of safety I think I will just do so. By carefully experimenting and using this very fine grinding tip, I've ground down the end of the crimp edge so that now I can lift the wheel off. There we go, and the whole axle now drops out through the support, and that I believe should free. Oops, try it again. Sorry about that. There we go. It now frees that end of the base. So I will repeat the process for the rear axles and take that off. Let's see if that's enough. And there we have both axles free. So hopefully this will slide through the axle supports. A bit tight, but that will soon come. There we go. And this will hopefully allow the base to move free from the body. And there we go. I'm quite surprised at how thin this is, but it's like sprung steel. There's the inside of the body, quite a plain casting. And this is a bit of stuff, it looks like a bit of tape. Maybe somebody's pushed in there. Single piece casting except for the headlamps. That noise you hear is the wind blowing against the shed. Don't worry about it. So I'm going to remove the second headlamp. I hope. Maybe not. Seems to quite firmly put in there. Maybe just better leave well alone. Okay. Features of the casting. Single piece, as I said, apart from headlamps. The axle supports. All looks in good condition. Painted a kind of army green inside. I don't know if that's relevant. And the spare wheel cover. This is where the spare wheel was kept. But other than that, these small windows at the back. Packard Super. I think quite a prestigious car in its day. Okay, let's go and get the paint off. Get it cleaned up, ready for restoration. Interesting before we go to see what parts we have. We've got the die-cast body, we've got the plate, steel plate base, 4 rubber tyres which don't look in too bad condition, 4 metallic wheels, so they can be cleaned as well, looks as if they were originally painted black, and 2 quite straight but slightly rusted up axles. I think these can be cleaned up quite nicely. Okay, let's get this paint off and see where we go from there. I'm going to try this paint remover. I find that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. If it works, good. If it doesn't, I can always use caustic soda. Kind of gloopy looking. And using a suitable device to hold it with. Let's just smear this all over. Inside out. Now for the front, the grille. Underneath the boot. I just need a finer brush to get right into these little corners here. And there. And there. And through there. So let's leave that for a little while. Now we can concentrate on the wheels. With the body soaking for about 10 minutes in the paint remover, the top paint coat of green is certainly coming off, revealing a black coat underneath. So it suggests that was the original colour and someone had repainted it green, which I thought might have happened anyway. So I'll just sort of remove the rest of the green. Oops. And then concentrate on taking the black off. Kind of leads to question, what colour should I repaint it? Well, I'll have a wee look at some diagrams and pictures and maybe come up with an idea before the end of the video. Here are the pieces out of the Packard Super bath. The base, I also put the base through as well. And to be honest, I actually gave this another going over with some caustic soda to take some resilient paint off. But anyway, that's more rinsed, ready for cleaning up. So I've got a brass brush. I'm just going to see how this brings the body up. Nice shiny glint there. I won't show you all of this. I'll get this done. I'll come back when I've finished. Well, it's been a couple of weeks since I last showed the Packard set for priming. I did that, then I painted it, and to be honest, this is the third paint I put on it. The first two coats were green. It just didn't look right. So I looked on the internet and brown seemed to be a popular colour for this. So I spray painted it in brown and it looks pretty good. Got a little bit of touching up to do. I've got the headlamps, the bumper at the front and along the bumper at the rear. So I'm not going to do that on camera. I'll do that and then I'll show you the result. Meantime, I've also painted the wheel hubs in brown, and then I'm going to fit the tyres before I fit them on to the chassis. I'm going to try and finish off this dinky Packard Super 8. I've already painted the silver or chrome bits, how you want to call it. They don't look that good, so I'm just going to go over some of the details. Like the headlamps, just a little touch up, perhaps making silver on silver might make it a bit stand out a bit more. Difficult to say. We'll just touch up the front mudguard. Although I suppose being a Packard, they should call this a fender. And I can touch that up to my heart's content at my leisure once I get this video up and posted. Okay, so let me just put this paint aside, clean the brush. There we go. And here is the Super 8 Tourer with the grille. I'm trying to mark on the grille, just the light. I think it's just the way the light's shining, it looks like there's a bit missing. Yeah, these two dots in the front bumper, I've kind of left them because they might be lights or badges or something. So I didn't want to cover them up in case there was something that could go in there. Yeah. Quite a simple casting, caused a little bit of problem. I just had one little embellishment, that is I painted this, probably the badge thing at the nose of the bonnet. Okay, so let me bring in the base and the wheels and we'll get this all put up together again. Try again. I put down the towel to prevent the roof getting scratched when I'm fitting. So, got my one axle. I'm going to put it into the front first of all. Goes in here, through there, and just a little bit of persuasion in there, and then I can fit the reciprocal wheel like so. And then I will crimp the axle later on. I do that because now I can fit the base, which slips underneath the axle there, sits in, and then the second axle will hold in the rest of the base. There are no screws, rivet posts, clips or anything else. The base is held in purely by the axles. So again, tight fit. Put the axle, oops, making sure I'm trying to do the right side. I think I am, just being a little bit tight. There we go, in here. And then keeping the original crimping on the same side for both axles, I slide this in, and then like so, and then I try and find the other wheel, bring it in, and in we go. And that, you may notice I've left the underside of the body in plain metal, for no other reason than I forgot to prime it. Sounds good to me. Right, so there's my Packard, Dinky Packard Super 8 Tourer. I'll get these axles crimped and then onto the ubiquitous turntable. Well, and there it is, my Dinky Super 8 Tourer. I think it's looking pretty smart. I like the brown, and it's my first Dinky I've ever restored. And you know, when I was doing the painting, right, I was using a fine brush like this, and I was thinking to myself, the last time I painted detail that fine was with the HMS Victory by Revell way back in 19umpteen. And yeah, it was the early 19umpteen, so that's quite a while ago. And just to have that come back to me, just wow, this is great. I just love doing this now. Very fine detail, that size of brush. Usually I'm using something like this, you know, which although it's small, they're still quite big in comparison. Anyway, thanks for that. Sort of rambling on a little bit here. And yeah, I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. And I hope you'll... I'm trying to think what to say here. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I hope you did too. And if you did, you can always subscribe just to keep up to date, because I tend to do quite a lot of things these days, especially during lockdown. Concentrate mainly on model railways, end gauge, restoration. Subscribe and find out, or look up my channel and see how it goes. Sort 6233. Whatever happens, I hope you keep safe, enjoy watching YouTube, and I'll catch you again. Bye for now.